Rated. So wow, AI is really doing a good work. So they brought up Chai and Chat for my introduction. What is Chai and Chat? Let me tell you a little bit about Chai and Chat and how you can get involved, because I see a lot of young people over here. I'm sure you want to get involved with mental health, and that's why you're here. You want support, or you just want to support a loved one, maybe a friend in your school or college. So Chai and Chat is an initiative which is for, by, and about South Asian communities. Meaning, we do about 3 conversations where we, as part of our initiative, we take the food to where people are. We take it to universities, we do it via virtually via Zoom, we take it to senior centers across all populations, but you have to be a South Asian to participate in Chai and Chat. We do have initiatives like this for other communities, but for Chai and Chat, we talk about the stuff that we talked about today. The whole day we were talking about ancient wisdom. We were talking about how to support your mental health, how to destigmatize mental health conversations in South Asian populations. Because I think everyone will agree with me today that we do have a mindset of what will people say, right? Yeah. I see a lot of nods. So we don't like to talk about our illnesses, be it physical, be it mental, in front of people. And that really prevents us from getting help. We believe in model minority myth, which a lot of youth will relate to. Gaurang Prabhuji today morning said about being what we are not meant to be. And really that's what we talk about in Chai and Chat. We talk friend to friend. Those chats are designed to be your kitchen table conversations, sitting in a kitchen table with your favorite aunt and just confiding, just talking about what's bothering you. Because that's the first step to getting help. So that's what NAMI is trying to do with Chai and Chat initiative. Now, how do I incorporate, and this is what I hear from the youth around the nation, how do we incorporate ancient wisdom in taking care of our mental health? Can someone give me an example? You do something that calls on your Hindu philosophy of life? Like, what do you do when you're anxious? Meditate. Yeah, that's a big one. We've given it to the world. Pray, yes, that's a big one. In a moment of crisis, if we have a prayer, that really helps us ease that crisis. Deep breathing exercise. Yes, japa. That's a big one. Before I came on stage today, I just, said mantras, because the power of mantras, not just the energy that they give to us, but also the repetitiveness that the mantras have. Like, my favorite one that I always go to is Triambagam yajamahi sugandhim pushti vardhanam urvarukme vandana mrityumokshi mamta. That always calms me down. And one thing we heard a lot today, because our keynote speech was also on Gita, and everybody, obviously, when you're a Hindu, Gita is somehow embedded in your daily life, in your spiritual life a lot. We heard about Gita. The thing that I love about Gita is that it's so diverse. You can see you can get so much wisdom from Gita that you can incorporate in your daily life. For me, do people practice grounding? Do you practice grounding exercises? Japa is one of them. Yeah, so if you really want to, you have few seconds before an exam, before an interview, your presentation, you say a mantra that comes to your mind. You say it several times to just calm your body down, right? To ground yourself. Nowadays, they have these really fancy stuff that's available on Amazon, the grounding mats. It's basically you go outside, you walk barefoot, be with the nature, and that helps ground you, right? We talked about eating food that nourishes our body, and we talked about yoga. Yoga can really help us ground. We talked about meditation, deep breathing. Now, all the ancient wisdom we really talk about doesn't have to be hard. It can be incorporated in our daily lives very slowly in small steps. For example, Preparing a meal. Maybe start with preparing one meal if you have a very busy day. When you come back from work, relax, have a cup of tea, and then get down to preparing a meal that nourishes your body. So these are some of the ancient wisdoms that I really, try to incorporate in my daily life, preparing a nourishing meal, going for a walk. And how many of you have heard about glimmers? Maybe some younger folks here, because it's becoming very popular. Have you heard about glimmers? Have you heard about triggers? Yes. So glimmers is totally opposite of triggers. So those are a few things, like a cup of coffee, maybe a knitting project you might have going on. You have a pet you like to take for a walk. Super small activities during your day that you can incorporate to bring you joy. And that's a mental list you keep in your mind that you take with you throughout your day. Suppose you're doing a very hard, let's say you're preparing a very hard presentation for your boss and you really don't want to do it. You think about a glimmer that you can actually invest your time in after the presentation is done. Right? So instead of triggers, focus on glimmers. Focus on that cup of coffee, the tea, or calling a friend that can bring you joy during your day. So going back to Gita, I like to read this poem whenever I want to ground myself. This is in Hindi, so if you read in Hindi, I'm sure there's an English version available for it, because this was a national poem for a long time in India. I think so, don't quote me on that though. Rashmi Rathi, it's the poem about Karan. Have the younger folks heard about Karan from Gita? Do you know who Karna was? Yeah, Karna, the underdog of Mahabharata, right? So there are 4 lines. So whenever I want to ground myself, I want to make my mind at peace, I bring this book out. I carry it with me. Lately I've started carrying it with me, and I just open it and I read it. I always have a page bookmarked. I'm going to read 4 lines and then end my presentation with that. When you're my age, you always need reading glasses. This is about the Pandavas. So keep these 4 lines, just think about it someday if you want to, keep it with you, because these really help me. वर्षों तक वन में घूम घूम, बाधा विघ्नों से चूम चूम, सह धूप थाम पानी पत्थर, पांडव आए कुछ और निखर, सौभाग्य ना सब दिन सोता है, देखें आगे क्या होता है. Did everyone understand? Perhaps not, if you don't understand Hindi. So Pandavas struggled a lot, right? They went into exile for 12 years. 1 year they lived, not telling anyone who they were. And they struggled, but they were preparing for something greater. So remember, your struggles are preparing you for something greater. And your luck never sleeps all your life. Times change. Always have that in back of your mind. Even when you're struggling with an exam, you're struggling with a failed interview, just relationships, anything. Do remember that it's gonna change. It's not going to be the same all the time. And contribute towards that change. Thank you all for listening in today.
To ask her a little bit more about her initiative. You may have briefly touched upon this as the lead consultant for NAME, but if you could touch upon that briefly and speak a little bit more about your perspective on what you see as an issue for young South Asians.
Thank you, Akhilesh. So if you see, I can come back to that QR code because a lot of you must be wondering what it is about. Sorry, I don't have a description, but I'll come back to it. Before I'll answer Akhilesh's question. So you heard from me about Chai and Chat, that initiative being taken for the youth around the country, for all populations, but generally youth, because they're eagerly, wanting to talk about mental health struggles right now. It's it's the easiest thing to destigmatize mental health in youth communities, in our younger communities, because they really are eager to talk about it. So when we go to universities and we talk to them about what is it that you would like your communities to support you with, they come up to me and they say, just don't judge. Don't judge, just listen. Don't try to fix the problem. Just listen with open ears. I think that's what the youth really wants us to do for them. They, you know, a lot of them will say, you know, we respect our parents' journey. We respect that they are immigrants and they sacrificed a lot for us, but it's time for them to respect our journey as well. You know, I mean, existing in two parallel cultures cannot be easy. A lot of us, I can speak for myself, and I'm sure a lot of this crowd, we did grow up in India. We didn't have to exist between two cultures. But over here, our children are actually living in two cultures, and there's always a conflict between these cultures. So just be open-minded, listen to your children, and just, you know, don't try to fix the problem. I think that's not what they want. So going to my QR code we have on the screen right now, if you take a picture, you will see the resources in Greater Houston area that NAMI has curated for you. So if you need any help, you want to connect to you know, initiatives like Giant Chat, you want to be part of this community conversation, take a picture and get in touch with us. Thank you.
Let's give a standing ovation for our panelists, please.